happy Vlogmas Day 2. I am going to be making my morning matcha. This one is a very special kind of matcha. It's a gift from a friend of mine. I got to meet her at the very end of my trip in Minnesota, and she happened to just get back from her trip in Japan, and she always gets me something very special. Last time she got me a tin of matcha as well, and it was one of the best matcha that I've ever had, and I'm very excited to try this one. She said that she had to wait in line for like 2 or 3 hours, and the matcha shortage was real. So I know that she put a lot of thought and effort. I'm going to treasure this tin of matcha and really savor every drop. I'm very excited. Normally I really like the purple organic minor figure oat milk specifically for my matcha, but Oatly or any other milk brands should be fine, but ideally I like mine with oat milk because I think matcha and oat milk go together really well. So I have my water heated to 174 degrees. You can really work with cold water as well, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna just cut my matcha bag. It's got that perfect green color. That's why I keep my green sweater on today, and I think today is going to be green sweater themed. And I also have my perfect Kinto matcha latte cup that I usually go for. It's just the perfect amount of matcha to milk, and it holds enough ice in it, and it's just like a perfect portion for one person a day. I have my sifter here. I'm gonna scoop up 3 full scoops, then make sure to sift it well. When you're making your matcha at home, it really is up to you and how strong you want your matcha to be. It's also because I do this so often now that I don't really need to measure anything. Before I add hot water into my matcha to whisk, I'm going to actually add some ice cube. I usually do 2 or 3 ice cubes. You can do more. Maybe we want to do 1 more. And then add milk so that the milk could chill. Also, the milk carton, I stored it in the fridge, so it's fridge cold. A little more. Just gonna gather the top and then fold it down. Then fold it in half, and then I just tighten it up. You can also transfer the matcha directly into the tin if you're planning to consume it within a week or 2. I forgot, I usually warm up my whisk because it has a woody smell. Do this. Ideally, you should do it in your bowl that you're gonna whisk your matcha in, so then you can warm up the bowl. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit water, just enough so then it kind of covers the powder, and then whisk it lightly. Just like this. Oh my gosh, this color is insane. I'm gonna add in, not too much, but good enough of an amount to create that foamy consistency. To mix it well, and then now you do the M or W motion continuously. I think my water is a little bit too hot. Is it 168 or 178? Currently mine is at 171. That is beautiful. I think the color of this one is slightly lighter than some of the matcha that I've tried before. But let's give this a taste test. It's definitely more light, very creamy. Look how beautiful. Matcha agara no shiro. There's a really strong umami flavor to it, regardless of the fact that this green color is not as dark green as many others. This is more like a creamy light green color. It's so different. Definitely tastes really high quality. Oh my gosh. Let's go back to our list from yesterday. I did put away the dishes, another one today, clean the kitchen. I have yet to water all of my plants, so today I am going to finish watering all of my plants. So today's day 2. I made matcha today, so water plant, made matcha, put away, clean laundry. I did, for the most part, everything that's in the living space. I think there are still some clothes, in the dryer, and then I could definitely do another load of laundry. But in our household, my partner and I, we split chores, and doing laundry is his chore, but folding and steaming and putting things away is my chore. So sometimes I still go ahead and do it if there are like laundry piling up, but we're not in a rush or hurry or anything because we did a few big loads this past weekend already, so I'm not in a big hurry. Clean the living space, which I did. Make the bed. I don't make the bed every day to you guys though. I do occasionally, not occasionally, but a couple times a week just so everything looks nice and neat, but I don't do it every day. Get ready, put on a Christmas sweater. I sort of like get ready today as well, putting on some light makeup. My hair is so greasy. I put on a sweater, the same sweater that you saw yesterday and probably the day before as well. It's so comfy and cozy. This one is from Gap. I have the exact same one but in the color black. This one is size medium. I have the large one. I also reached for my V-neck cotton sweater from Banana Republic a lot more even, especially during the trip when I was in Las Vegas and Minnesota. It was just so cozy and perfect. So yeah, I love wearing sweaters this time of the year. I have go to Chinatown, which I am going to go later today because I need some very specific Vietnamese herbs to make this chicken congee dish that goes with the gingery chicken cabbage salad. I'm gonna show you how I make it. That is it for day 2, I think. It's gonna be very chill. I still need to sit down at least an hour, up to 2 hours working on my laptop, usually at the beginning of the week. I tend to go through all of the emails that I got throughout the weekend, and sometimes I started just because I didn't have time to reply when I was out and about during the weekend. Then I would have to go back. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, to tend to my emails and then do admin. So I just made it out of my apartment. It's so sunny but so cold. I am just wearing this thrifted woven leather jacket to mainly to air it out because it still smells like a cigarette. Hey guys, I just made it back from the grocery store. I went to Chinatown, stopped by Tân Tín Hưng. I made it a goal to shop enough so that I could fill up this LLB medium-sized tote bag that I have. It's because this is my 3rd grocery trip this week. I'm also always so tempted to make so many dishes when I see certain ingredients that I don't get to come around more often. So whenever I'm at Tân Tín Hưng, I usually tend to stock up my pantry with Vietnamese herbs, Vietnamese dried goods and ingredients to make some specific dishes. So as I told you that I was going to make chicken congee, so I'm gonna show you how I make it today. I'm gonna go ahead and blanch these chicken pieces. Ideally, just use a whole chicken, but for some reason, I like the idea of not touching raw meat sometimes. So I picked up 2 of these, basically whole chicken split in half. 1 whole chicken, you can throw 1 whole chicken in a big pot. And then I'm going to peel this piece of ginger. We'll save these peeled ginger pieces for the dipping sauce later, and we'll be using this, congee in the broth as well. So now that the water is coming to a boil, I'm just gonna flip the chicken pieces, switch it around so then the meat gets in contact with hot water for a few more minutes, and then we'll discard this water and rinse the chicken under cold water. Yellow onion, sliced. I also have this piece frozen. And then I'm gonna chop in some of these frozen leeks just to add some natural sweetness to my broth. Of course, we'll remove once the chicken is cooked. You can use fine salt or diamond crystal kosher salt, either works. A handful of sliced ginger. Okay, since I don't have any shallots, I'm gonna thinly slice 1 small yellow onion and treat it as shallot. And I'm gonna fry them and use them as toppings on top of my chicken cabbage salad later. To make the pickle onion, I'm gonna add just enough in this restaurant takeout container here. I'm gonna add in a pinch of salt, granulated sugar. In here I have Heinz distilled white vinegar, enough so that it half covered the onion. A lot of people do this as a topping for their pho when they eat it with raw steak. And then the onion, I'm just gonna leave it on top of my radiator so then it could dry out. I have half of the cabbage here. I'm also going to be thinly sliced it. I have the ginger for the sauce later. Traditional toppings would always include green onion, cilantro, and I like to add raw sliced onion as well. Okay, now that my chicken pot is boiling, I'm going to turn around some ingredients and lower the heat and just let it slow cooked. I want to preserve as much of the liquid as possible. So I think I'm gonna close the lid of the pot. So if you have small kids, young children, or just teenagers, make them sit down and pick out these herbs. It's what I used to do growing up when I had to help my mom and grandma and aunt cooking in the kitchen. So like yesterday, we went to Home Depot to get our Christmas tree. It was really funny because they were doing a 50% off deal on the 6 to 7 feet noble fir tree. And the tag somehow came off when we went to the self-checkout section. And one of the staff came back with her booklet and she literally scanned in $30. So we ended up getting that tree for $32, $33. And it's like the best day ever. We used to go to organic Christmas tree farm to get our trees. It got very expensive. And then we slowly downgraded because things just get so expensive these days. You know, I don't like to support big box companies anymore, but for necessity or for things like this, it's okay to shop from there every once in a while. Same thing with Amazon. Just shop there if they are the only place that carry certain things. But yeah, I'm so glad. My Christmas tree this year was only $30. It looks amazing. I love that it gets fuller and fuller every year with all of the meaningful ornaments. Some of the lights were damaged, so we lost 2 big strings of lights this year, but I think it still looks okay. I don't really need to go out and spend more money for more lights. I'm also going to be washing, just have this much of the culantro, some basils, not everything, but just a little bit. I'm gonna be doing the same thing, just pick out the leaves and then save the young stems on top. So this is jasmine rice. This is 1 cup. And this is sticky rice. You can do 2-to-1 ratio. So if you're using 1 cup of jasmine rice, then use only half a cup of sticky rice. So yeah, I'm gonna go rinse the rice and make sure that I wash it off really well. I got some cold water in here. I'm gonna use all of this cabbage. Carefully and thinly slice your cabbage directly into this bowl. I'm going to let this soak in cold water. Show you how I make my Vietnamese gingery fish sauce to dip my chicken in with and to mix my salad with. So this is the palm sugar brand that I use. I'm going to start off with 1 cube. 3, 2 big Thai chili. And then for the ginger, I'm going to slice it this much. Here's what the mixture is looking like so far. So now I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon of fish sauce first and then see what it tastes like. 1. I'm gonna squeeze in a lime. You can also squeeze by hand because I like to get all of the pulps out. It's sweet. I think I can do a little bit more fish sauce. Very spicy. So I'm gonna do another half tablespoon of fish sauce. And this is literally it for my sauce. Now I am going to be carefully removing the chicken halves because it's been cooking in this broth for probably 45 minutes now, I would say. Just carefully remove them to a bigger... Oh my gosh, it's falling off the bones. And then now I am ready to add in my rice. Just make sure you fish out any brown bits. It's a mixture of sticky rice and jasmine rice. I'm okay leaving the onions and the leeks in here because it will keep getting cooked and help adding that natural sweetness to the broth. This is a very important ingredient that I think dishes. This is the Knorr chicken powder. I'm gonna add in my chicken congee pot, about a tablespoon of this. It helps adding that chicken flavor. I'm gonna leave the lid that so then not too much water evaporates. I'm gonna cook this on low for another 45 minutes. I'm gonna use a fork to separate the meat of the chicken. I just want mine to be in chunks like this. I'm just waiting for my congee to be cooked down a little bit more. I'm gonna have it cooked for another 30 minutes, so it's been almost an hour now. we've got the chicken pieces, chicken chunks. My garnish for my congee, which includes the white parts of the onion, green parts of the onions, and cilantro. Yellow onions thinly sliced. Here I have a mixture of herbs. I have cilantro, Vietnamese, coriander, and basil. Thinly sliced or shredded cabbage, fried onion, shallot look-alike. Ideally, you would want to use shallot, the gingery fish sauce. And in here, I have the pickled, thinly sliced. I want to show you how I put everything together. Then my congee is ready. And a little bit of fish sauce, a tablespoon of fish sauce. And then make sure you cook it for at least 5 to 10 more minutes before you turn off the heat, just so everything is incorporated. So I'm going to remove some of the leeks. Next, I'm going to show you how I put together the chicken cabbage salad. You would need a big bowl. This is my favorite bowl that I use to mix my salad with. I'm going to use scissors to cut up the herbs. So there are a lot of Vietnamese coriander, some cilantro, and then basil. I'm going to use half of this much. For the salad, I like to use dark meat. Some skin is ideal. And I'm leaving the white meat for the congee. Our dressing, which is the gingery fish sauce dressing that we made. Oh my god, it smells so good. I feel like I could even go in with a lot more herbs. Later, this literally is perfect amount. I'm gonna drizzle in some more fish sauce so we can add some color. Crushed peanuts, fried onion or shallots if you have. So now my congee is ready. As you can see, it's silky smooth. It's not too thick. It's got actually the perfect amount of consistency in terms of congee that I like. The congee over, it's very hot, and then I'm gonna add in the chicken and all of the garnishes. Okay, so this is the perfect one serving portion.